All right, so Kumho Tire just dropped their latest quarterly report. And look, if you're a dealer here in the US, there is one single number in here you have got to see. We're going to break down exactly what these results mean for your business starting right now. So you look at the top line numbers and you might think, okay, Kumho's global performance is steady, almost kind of flat, right? But is that the whole story? Or is that maybe a little bit of a warning sign? Well, as you're about to see, the number that really matters isn't the global total. It's this massive growth engine that's been hiding in plain sight. And boom, there it is. I mean, look at this. While Kumho's overall sales were basically flat, down just a tiny fraction, North America, year-to-date sales are up almost 20%. That's not just growth, folks. That is an absolute explosion. And this is the story we're going to unpack. Okay, so to really get the full context, let's start with that bigger global picture. How did Kumho actually do on the world stage, especially in a market that's, well, facing some pretty serious headwinds right now? The big headline number, $760 million in total sales for Q3. But here's what's even more important. This is the 8th quarter in a row that Kumho has been above that mark. I mean, that shows some serious stability, especially in a tough market like this. Now, operating profit, that came in at $74 million. And yeah, you'll notice that number is down a little bit year over year. But, and this is a big but, there's some critical context here. The company was dealing with the fallout from a fire at their Gwangju plant back in May. So honestly, hitting that kind of profit, even with a disruption like that, that's actually pretty significant. And you can really see that efficiency reflected in their operating margin. It stayed really strong at 9.7%. Think about it, with US tariffs, a global auto slowdown, pulling off a margin like that, it really points to two things. Strong management for sure, but also super high demand for their premium products. All right, let's get to the good stuff, the part that really matters to you. We're going to set aside that global view for a second and just zero in on the incredible performance that's happening right here in our own backyard. This chart really puts that nearly 20% growth into perspective, right? It's more than double the growth rate in Europe, and it's almost 10 times the growth they're seeing in China. I mean, North America isn't just part of Kumho's story right now, it is the growth story, period. So the big question, right? How are they doing it? A jump of almost 20%, that just doesn't happen by accident. It's got to be the result of a really specific, focused strategy. So let's crack open that playbook and see what's inside. It really boils down to four main things. First up, they have a laser focus on high-inch tires. We're talking 18 inches and up. The ones with the higher margins. Second, they're landing more and more OE deals, which means Kumho tires are on new cars right off the factory line. They're also smart about launching tires designed specifically for our market, our roads, our trucks. And finally, they are just building up this incredible brand prestige through a whole bunch of major awards. And that last point about awards, man, that is really worth hammering home. We're not talking about just one or two awards here. In 2025 alone, Kumho swept all 4 of the world's major design awards. That's a grand slam. And if you're a dealer, that's not just some trophy on a shelf. It's a powerful selling point you can use to communicate quality and innovation directly to your customers. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't just my interpretation. In their own report, they say, and I'm quoting here, their goal is to solidify its position as a global premium tire brand. It's so clear. Every part of their strategy, from the big tires to the design awards, it all points directly to that one goal. But here's the thing, this strategy isn't just about winning today. It's about building a rock-solid foundation for the future. Kumho is pouring a ton of money into making sure they're not just keeping up with the next wave of mobility, but that they're actually leading it. And I mean, they are actively researching the tires of tomorrow. We're talking about smart tires with sensors baked right in, airless tire technology, and, get this, even tires for those flying cars and urban air mobility. And all of this crazy R&D is being developed using these super advanced digital twin simulation systems. And look, this isn't just some science fiction stuff on a whiteboard. It's happening right now. They just partnered up with a company called Autonomous A2Z to build tires specifically for self-driving vehicles. And they even showed off their work on this thing called the Rye autonomous vehicle at the massive Apex Summit. I mean, that's a huge stage. It just shows they are dead serious about being a major player in the future of how we all get around. Okay, so we've looked at the global numbers. We've seen that incredible US growth, we've dug into their strategy, and we've glanced into the future. Now, let's boil it all down. What does this all actually mean for you and your dealership? It really comes down to four key things. One, there is absolutely undeniable, super strong demand for Kumho products right here in our market. Two, that demand is being pushed by that premium product mix, the bigger tires, which means better margins for you. Three, the brand's prestige is on the rise, backed by all those awards and OE deals, which just makes it an easier sell on the floor. And finally, number four, you've got a partner here that is investing heavily in the future, which means they're going to be relevant for years and years to come. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. As you're planning for 2026, is the direction Kumho is heading, this push towards premium, towards tech, is that aligned with where you want to take your business? Because based on these numbers, it looks like a pretty powerful wave to be riding.